Hello guys, we're back again with a short beginner guide for Kenshi. Our goal here is to give you a basic idea of how the character plays, so you could decide if you want to pick him up or not. And if you do, give you some info to get you started. Kenshi is easily one of the most difficult and complex characters in MK1 thanks to his Sento stance. Not only does it effectively double his move list, but it also summons a spirit that you can directly control. But more on that later. Overall, his massive kit gives him plenty of versatility, with both zoning and rushdown options. However, his real strength lies in absolutely ridiculous pressure, mind games and mix-up opportunities. Though you will have to work hard for all of that. Let's start with just his buttons. It's easy to get overwhelmed, with Kenshi having a bit over 40 different attacks without even taking aerial combos into account, but let's narrow it down to just some of the key pokes. In his normal stance, 131 is one of your staple combo starters, which can be cancelled at any point, but it's unsafe on third hit. 212 is similar, albeit you'll have to confirm it on the second hit. The string starts stubby, but has an interesting property on third hit, which turns from a mid into an overhead if it hits behind the opponent. You also have some decent ranged pokes with a back for low, and back to mid, and a 4-2 mid series that can be confirmed into combos. It also has several follow-ups that might work well against opponents who are asleep or AFK. Switching to Sento, you still don't have much going on with strings. It mostly comes down to 1-2 for a quick high starter, 4-2 as a slower mid that's good for pressure but will lose to armored reversals. And you also have back 1-2 for a launcher. You do gain a bunch of nice pokes with his sword though, especially lows. You have these nice stabs with down 3 and down 4. Back 1 will hit from a bit of a distance, and you have a long range sweep in back 4. Forward 3 is also a nice approaching low. For mids you have a forward 4, a mid high string that's a whole +1 on block, and you get a pretty fast I-16 overhead in back 2. Moving on to his specials, Kenshi also has quite a lot going on. When not in Sento, you have a lot of his classic spirit summons. Back forward 2 is a shoulder bash, which can be a nice combo finisher. Back forward 3 is a launcher. And down back 2 is an overhead projectile, which becomes a launcher in the EX version. Outside of that, you also have the great down forward 1 special, which will eat up projectiles. And the force push, which you might use as an ender, or perhaps in some setups where you can charge it up for massive plus frames. In Sento, things get pretty interesting. You summon a spirit to fight alongside you, and you actually have direct control over him. Though the spirit only has 4 moves, a quick bop on 1, mid string on 2, a launcher on 3, and a longer mid string on 4. He kinda follows the Chimera rules in that he uses the same meter and opponents can hit him to essentially stun him for a little bit. You also get a different set of specials, mostly in relation to the spirit. Down back 2 will allow you to realign his position, while EX will also refresh the Camille meter or resummon him. The other move is a hit grab, which turns into a projectile when buffed. The only other special is this Rising Slash on down back 3, with EX version turning it into a launcher. As with many puppet characters, Kenshi's main strength lies in the amount of possibilities and flexibility he has. Combined with the right cameo, good players might just make him soar through the tier lists and become an absolute menace. However, his weakness also comes from this complexity. Kenshi is not an easy character to pick up and harder yet to master. You will need to spend a lot of time in the lab to make proper use of his abilities.